It's an exciting time. Although it's kind of hard to follow Mike Cheney now that he had show and tell. I mean, who knew that he'd bring a dog with him? There's not a lot you can bring from the treasurer's office. I can't even bring you all the money to put up here. But I will tell you that it's being handled and handled very well on your behalf. I still get the question almost 2 years later, what do you do as the treasurer? Are you just still sitting up there writing a bunch of checks? Well, not. We're moving your money very efficiently, very effectively. And your bank is about a $25 billion transactional bank. You may not have had any idea that we move that much money on your behalf and make all the payments. But you know, it's a time to talk about the successes in the last 2 years in your bank. There's been a lot going on. We've had a tremendous opportunity to work on your behalf, and I have a fabulous team that has really been very creative, thought about new ways to handle the dollars, how to be more efficient, how to be more effective in saving money. So I want to spend a little time talking about what we've been able to do and capitalize in that regard. So in your bank, we also run all of the debt. Besides doing all the transactions, we're in charge of all the bonds, paying the debt, servicing it, paying it timely, and that's been very important. But as we look at that debt, we also look at how do we maximize and we leverage those dollars. So this time last year, we changed some variable rate debt into fixed rate on your behalf. And it saved about $33 million for you all, the taxpayers. So I think $33 million right off the bat is a great savings. And we're continuing to do that. We're looking in large dollars, small dollars, renegotiating fees and contracts. Because again, it's your money, and we want to be exceptionally good stewards of your dollars. So in the bonds, we're also having to work on our bond rating. You know, as right now we have a great bond rating, a AA bond rating. That's very good right now. And if you've watched what's happened nationally and you've had all the conversations about possibly even downgrading the United States, we're very cognizant on behalf of the state of Mississippi on how we maintain our bond rating and maybe even move our bond rating up eventually to a AAA. Many of you are aware that there are 3 agencies, Standard & Poor, Moody's, and Fitch. So I always ask the people at Fitch, they should automatically give us a AAA rating because there are no other treasurers named Fitch, and I should just be entitled to get a state AAA rating on our behalf. Hadn't worked like that, but we're still going to continue to pursue that. Have a great relationship with the bonding agencies, and that's so important. And we recently had them down to the state of Mississippi. And what a great opportunity to showcase our state. So they actually came here. They don't often go to states. Had the opportunity to bring all the different agency heads together, talk about what we have in a strategic fashion happening in our state. What are we doing in economic development? And to really highlight the good things happening in Mississippi. So we had them here, and we had them for a short time, and we went up to the Golden Triangle, showed them there just that sliver of economic development with PACCAR and Steel Mill and Eurocopter, and then into Tupelo with the General Atomics. And you know, we always had to throw in a flavor of culture. So we took them to the Elvis Presley birthplace. So again, they loved that part of our heritage and the tapestry. But one of the things that they said as they got on the plane is that we are so glad to be here. We see a whole different side of Mississippi that we don't normally see. And you have the greatest asset, and this is just what Philip said earlier, and it's your people. He said everyone was so gracious while we were here. We enjoyed the hospitality. We had no ideas that you make ships, you build helicopters, you build part of the drones, and on, just as a small part of what you do in Mississippi. And they said, you know, we have a different thought process now about Mississippi, and we look forward to coming back and reevaluating where you are. So, you know, to have them talk about us in such a positive manner is certainly an uptick for our state. Now, one of the things back 2 years ago when we were there, we talked about some needs for the state of Mississippi. One of them being a debt affordability plan. And why is that important? That is a tool that has never been done in the state of Mississippi, where we canvass all the agencies, institutions of higher learning, and all the other agencies that may need some dollars in bonding fashion over the next 5 years. It gives us a great roadmap to look forward and make a determination if we need to be planning X amount of $1 million for this agency. So it's not a surprise when the legislature gets there. And they have been afforded the opportunity to look through that process. So I'm very proud of my team, and the Treasurer's Office will be providing that by the time the legislative session gets here, and we'll be doing an annual update for the legislature to use. The other thing that we talked about when the bonds rating agencies were here about how good things had happened with our education system. But one of the important things that they said that's still missing is the financial culture in our state. And as a very strong, compassionate leader in financial literacy, I think we have to stop and look at that and look at the financial health of our state. We don't teach our children enough about financial education. We don't take the time to give them that important life skill. So when they go out and they work for you, or they're an entrepreneur, have we taught them how to balance their checkbook? Have we taught them about insurance, or mortgages, or capital, or savings? I don't think we've done a very good job of that. It's unfortunate, but we're not unlike many other states. They have not been able to bring that to the forefront either. But we're going to continue to push from a national level. The National Association of State Treasurers, this is going to be a tremendous issue for us nationwide. And I think that's become very apparent, certainly in the last couple of years, that we definitely as a state need to change our financial culture because it affects everybody, but we also need to do it on a national level. You know, I'm reminded, and several of you have heard me tell this, I have a friend who has a daughter just like I do in college, and she went through ATM the other day and said, "Thanks for that extra $300 you put into my account, Mom." Her mom said, "I didn't put any money in your account. Must have been your grandparents." Called the grandparents, said, "We didn't put any money in." Said, "Could you get out that receipt when you went through the ATM?" "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Is there like a little dash mark in front of it maybe?" "Yeah, like you owe the bank now $325. Just simple life skills we've not taught our children about. Now, we need to start it in the schools. We need to start it in our workforce. We need to have that conversation when young adults are in college, and certainly as they go on to the next step. You know, it's unfortunate. Many of us see wages being garnished, cars being repossessed, and homes being foreclosed on. Well, that's not what we want to do in our state. We want to change that financial barometer and then be able to bring in industries or grow our own businesses by having a great workforce. And that's a key component. Now, I want to tell you a couple of sobering statistics that recently came out in the FINRA report. That's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority report. Came out the first part of June. It's a comparison and analysis of all states and their financial health. Well, unfortunately, this is going to tell you exactly why we need financial literacy. That FINRA report said that we, the state of Mississippi, are the least financially capable state in the country. The least financially capable. We're also the state that is the second highest individuals that only pay the minimum amount on their credit card. We have very few individuals that have rainy day savings accounts because they don't save. We have 10% who owe more on their homes than what they're worth. And then when you think about all the medical health issues, we already have 41% of our citizens who have unpaid medical bills. Well, to me that says that's the high sign. Let's certainly engage this financial personal literacy initiative and move forward. You know, right now there are 4 states that require personal finance in their states, in their educational system. I'd like to be number 5 for our state instead of number 50. I'd love to see that FINRA report come out and say, look at the steps that the state of Mississippi did to change the financial culture of the state. I'd love to go to the National Association of State Treasurers and say, look what the state of Mississippi is doing, because we believe that changes our economic development. That provides a better workforce. That provides a healthier, fiscally more responsible citizens base for the state of Mississippi. So it has been an honor to serve as your treasurer. I too am enjoying every moment of it. I truly am humbled by the opportunity, and I thank you for giving me the chance to serve as your Chief Financial Officer. Thank you for being here today. I hope you have a great day, and may God bless you.